raising hell today, okay? Bring the juice today, brother. Let's get it.
You're gonna be standing right next to me, man? Let's go.
That's what we do now. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let's do our thing now. Take off, kid. Take off, kid.
Run.
Far side of the 10. Step on to the 5. Head for the end zone.
What a play.
What's up, Internet? Welcome to us failing.
Derrick Henry was on my team, so I'm going to go Texans, I guess.
Yeah, he's on Tennessee, though.
Oh.
You tried. You went for it. I appreciate it. This is Up the Gut, live.
100%.
Welcome to Up the Gut Live. It's like the chicken soup for your soul, except with football. You know, it's how we do it. I'm Patrick. I am a host on this show, one of them. And tonight, playing the part of my co-host, playing the part of Matt Ehlers, is none other than Matt Ehlers.
Yay, me.
Woohoo! How you doing, Matt?
Oh, I just woke up like 3 minutes ago.
I like it. We didn't get to talk pre-countdown. That's my favorite.
Not at all. I didn't even put on a hat.
Oh, that's good. Me either. But I'm bald.
But wow, we got a show today.
We do. I think this one might actually be one of our biggest shows.
Yep.
And we will get to that.
Yeah, just to preface it though, Patrick tried to break Twitter with a little bit of a following we have on Twitter. He tried to break them.
Oh, we branched way beyond the following. I mean, we our meager 170 subscribers on here and our 41 followers on Twitter, and you'd think that we were the biggest name in football with the way things went down there on the Twitter. So we're just going to set the record straight when it comes to a certain quarterback named Lamar Jackson. So that is coming up on the show. We do have a sponsor this week. We do have our partner, as always, Ma Energy. Ma is pinned in the comments. It's the #1 comment. So click on that. Order your Ma. I drink it every morning. It gets me to about 2 o'clock before I need anything else. So it is amazing.
And I usually have 2 helpings every night about 3-4 a.m. to get me that last little bit of my shift at work. It is
a fly
good
died
stuff.
in my drink.
Oh, no.
You died happy, though, because there's a lot of whiskey in there. Like, what's this floating in my drink?
Yep.
We also will have our pre-preseason power rankings, the top 10 NFL teams according to Up the Gut.
That's right, according to us.
Yes, because we are clearly always right about this, and no one could ever disagree with us.
But first, I think we should start where we always start, and let's hit up some not-so-breaking off-season news.
Not so breaking off-season news.
So where are we starting with this?
Well, I say we could. You know what? We're not going to do a Rogers watch this week. You know why? Because nothing's changed. No.
You just don't want to see that picture again. You're canceling Roger Watch because you don't want to see him in a Broncos uniform.
I'm canceling Rogers watch because there's been no update. There's still no update.
Well, I mean, yeah, except that he's been in front of the camera a little bit more here lately because of that the match, and he's been taking little jabs here and there. I don't mind it.
He has been, but still nothing definitive. He's not 100% not playing, but he still hasn't come back either. They're still working on it. It's still the same place it was however many weeks ago this even started.
Yeah, this has me all messed up. I don't know what to do. Aaron Rodgers, you hurt me.
You heard me.
Out here. Okay.
See, whether or not Rodgers plays or not, you have your quarterback.
That's true. I do. But when it comes to the show,
yeah.
When it comes to the show and we're rating stuff, and I'm like, well, what's he going to do? Is he going to be here? It's messing with me. Stop it.
I know. Remember you had hair 5 weeks ago?
I know, right? Now my forehead starts back here. Okay.
Let's see. I mean, nothing super huge. The Dolphins gave Jerome Baker a contract extension, and he's a pretty good linebacker. He's a good fit for him.
Okay.
Clowney, Javian Clowney said he feels good after his first practice. So I guess he's recovering from something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lamar Jackson placing a big emphasis on improving the deep ball.
Any air ball would be good to improve on your quarterback.
Derek Carr. I have to get the right Carr. Derek Carr was quoted as saying he would probably quit if he's ever traded away from the Raiders. So that's some pretty extensive team loyalty.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know that I'd want to say that because that's not just probable; it's likely.
I don't know if it's likely he'll get traded because I don't know who they trade him for at this point.
Well, I don't know either, but I think that Gruden's wanting to get his pick of quarterback, a draft pick in there,
right?
And so, I mean, to say that Derek Carr is probably limited with his time in Vegas that's not crazy. Like that's very possible. It's probable.
It is. It's just sad that he would rather quit than play for a different team.
Well, I mean, he loves the Raiders. Good for him. Him and Al Davis are the only ones without loyalty. But it's also something really easy to say, maybe not as easy to do.
Yeah. I mean, I hope not. I think he's got some – first of all, he's got quite a few years left. He's not old by any means.
Oh, no, he's got plenty.
And I think he's got some talent. He's a little streaky, but he's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's playing with amazing, weapons. He's got running backs, but they get injured. I feel like he had who was the one that went to Dallas? I'm drawing blanks.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah, he had Amari Cooper briefly, I think, and then. But anyway, so I wouldn't put all him. I like him. I think he's talented. He's had a lot better luck than his brother did. So.
Yeah. But that and the Jaguars still haven't figured out who they're going to start at quarterback yet. So there's still a battle between Trevor Lawrence and Minshew Mania.
Oh, I like Minshew.
I do like
but
Minshew.
when it comes to quarterbacks,
he's another
Chicago said that Andy will start. That's what we're talking about starting quarterbacks.
Andy Dalton is the starter for now in Chicago. But I don't see that being for the full season.
I don't see that being for long.
Yeah.
I've got this really good feeling about Justin Fields. I haven't had one of those for an incoming quarterback since Josh Allen. So,
yeah. Patriots has stated that Cam.
I'm glad that you agree with me.
Patriots has stated that Cam Newton is their starting quarterback.
Yeah, that'll probably change. Have you seen the video coming out from their mini camp and the throws? He's overthrowing people 10 yards out of the end zone by like 7 yards.
I have not yet, but
it was some
poor
throwing. And my favorite part is, being part of the Bills Mafia. One of the first thing I saw, it said, it said that, Cam had a rough day at practice was one. Then Bills Mafia got a hold of it and it said, look at Cam Newton in midseason form. But that probably won't last long either. I say Mac Jones be there for the middle of the season.
Oh, definitely. That man was bred to be a Patriot.
And we haven't even hit the biggest off-season news, not so breaking off-season news. Le'Veon Bell said he would rather retire than play for Andy Reid again.
Which I don't get. That's the most success he's had in his career is in Kansas City.
No, Le'Veon Bell, his best, maybe within the last 4 years, but Pittsburgh was his the most he did.
For him individually, but I mean as far as actually winning championships.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as far as, postseason depth, getting to a Super Bowl. But what it seems like to me is Le'Veon Bell, ever since he decided to sit out that year, he has not had success. And so rather than being able to say, hey, that's on me, I need to be better, it's a lot easier. I heard he called out the Jets coach. He's calling out Andy Reid, who is one of the most successful coaches that are coaching today. He just took his team to 2 straight Super Bowls, 3 straight AFC championships.
Yep.
And you're saying that you don't want to play for what? Did he not give you enough touches? I mean, Edward Clyde-Helaire or whatever his name is, he got injured, so you got even more touches than he did, and you still weren't that successful.
I think he's
personally.
upset because they're a pass-first offense in Kansas City.
Of
And
course.
he wants to run the ball like 30 times a game. And that's not going to happen in Kansas City.
No. And maybe that's the only way he's successful. But rather than trying to blame that on Andy Reid, just say that's not the type of offense I would like to play in, so I will not be back in Kansas City. I would like to go play in Baltimore. You'll get runs there. You'll have to split it with 800 other running backs, but you'll get it.
But yeah, other than that, nothing super crazy happening, but we are getting ever so closer to the regular season actually being here.
No, it's creeping up on us. We're starting, the mandatory mini camps are in full swing. I'm getting my daily dose of Josh Allen throwing the ball. I know that I've been noticing on Twitter that it's been pretty rough for some of these quarterbacks, from Cam Newton and his throwing to Tua, I think, threw 5 interceptions the other day in 7-on-7s.
Oof.
And then who's backing him? Jacoby Brissett threw another 2. Josh Allen's had a couple. And I just assume
Aaron Rodgers hasn't even thrown a ball.
Yeah, but he's got his hair in a ponytail. He's got his flip flops on. He's doing all right.
His
in his relatively quiet offseason.
I'm just surprised we haven't seen the Aaron Rodgers mustache he grows every offseason.
Yeah, no, I would like that better than a little hair ponytail flip flops.
It's not a ponytail.
Okay, it's not big enough to be a ponytail, but he's trying.
Flip flops are what you wear in Hawaii.
I feel like he wears them everywhere.
Some people are like that. Not just hippies. There's some people that are just like, you know what? It's May, it's June. I have to wear flip flops everywhere. And I'll be honest, gross.
I only wear cleats everywhere I go. No, that's not true at all.
Let's say, do you?
I have some flip flops. I have Buffalo Bills.
I gotta say, I've known you for 20 years. I've never seen you wear cleats.
It's because you never watched me, like early before the kids, whenever I actually needed them. I have a pair somewhere. I think they're in the garage.
When did you need them?
Whenever I was playing. And, those I'm too old, so I'm going to play with a bunch of other old drunks in sports, like slow pitch softball and flag football.
Okay, I got you.
So, anyway.
And that was the last part of our Not So Bird Season news. Patrick used to play softball.
I did. I was damn good.
Not so breaking off-season news.
All right.
Speaking of breaks, go ahead.
I was just saying, before we get into too much meat and potatoes, there's something that's really easy I'd like you guys to do.
Look how easy that is. That's
on your mobile device.
Yeah, that's like the shortest video we made. Because it
is. I didn't make it, but someone did.
It's not complicated. Just 2 clicks, one to subscribe and one to get notifications.
Yes, exactly. Super easy.
Easy.
So I wanted to touch on something real quick that isn't necessarily related to football.
Is it related to business?
No, it's related to bourbon.
Mm.
So I got this nice little bottle because I stopped at Mike's Liquor in DeSoto, Kansas. And I was just looking because, I like my bourbon. And I was getting ready to leave.
Now, does that giant TX stand for Texas?
I assume so. Because they got like leather in there from cowboy boots or something. And it's very Texas. But, yeah, it's Texas. It says Go Texan. But anyway, so I stopped in there just to see what they had because, I like bourbon. And I'm not in DeSoto very often.
Right.
And the employee there sold me on this bourbon. He said, this is my top 5 of bourbons. I'm like, well, that's saying something. So I thought, you know what? I wasn't going to open it because I have plenty of open bourbons at the moment. You guys have seen the Bill's Pub. But I opened it and I poured a glass. So we're going to try this. And we had a really long football talk while we're at it. He is a Titans fan. Oh, that's got a really good nose on it. It's very chocolatey. Whew.
Yeah, you sip on that and get comfy.
It tastes like it smells. It is very smooth, very chocolatey. So, may not be my top 5, but it's his top 5. So if you're in DeSoto, Kansas, go to Mike's Liquor. It's right off of Highway 10. So I just wanted to touch on that, but we could definitely touch on some business. Would you like to touch on some business?
Let's take care of some business real quick.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Now,
who's our other sponsor today, Patrick?
Well, we're going to get to that, but I wanted to switch stuff up because where do we do business?
We do business in quite a few places.
We mostly do business. Sorry, I was going to play this Lamar Jackson highlight video behind me, and I forgot to press play. But we mostly do business in the Bills pub.
True.
I decided I didn't want to go. I'm not in the Bills pub. I'm still in my chair watching Lamar Jackson run touchdowns.
Well, then who's watching the Bills pub?
No one's watching the Bills pub. The Bills pub is closed. As close as it'll ever be. So I have started something new for today, June the 16th. We are going to the Joe Flacco sponsorship table.
What?
The Joe Flacco sponsorship table. And today's show is brought to you by Pacific Island American Soy Sauce. We've talked about them before, and we'll talk about them again, but I can't talk enough about them. Look at that amazing goodness. We're talking an American soy sauce born from the Pacific Island recipe that is 50% of the sodium of most soy sauces. Twice the flavor, half the sodium. And where can you go, Ailers?
I believe, if my memory serves correct, it'd be PacificIslandSauces.com.
Which I have put for you in the comments. That is not pinned, but it's up there. And it's scrolling at the bottom of the screen down here.
Oh, that makes it way easier.
I tell you, I've gone through a lot of the Pacific Island soy sauces because I get, I just got this case. And I will hand this out to people that don't know about Pacific Island soy sauces. And they will all come back to me and say, this was the best soy sauce I've ever had. Time and time again. So I actually just talked to them, and they said that they are ramping up. And we're going to go nationwide. So if it's not there now, go to your local grocers. Tell them we want Pacific Island soy sauce and get it because, all right, if you like soy sauce, if you use it at some point, I'm actually going to just eat the entire show using Pacific Island soy sauces.
That's right. All the taste, half the sodium, your taste buds, and your blood pressure will thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it, if you're going to use soy sauce, if you're going to have that sodium, have all the taste, if not more of the taste. But also, don't get hit with that sodium. We don't need that. We need your health. We need you here because we got to grow. So subscribe and like Pacific Island soy sauces.
That's right. We need you. You can't have too many football fans.
Oh, never. So we want to say thank you to Pacific Island Sauces for sponsoring soy sauce, for sponsoring the show.
Yes.
We can never get enough of that.
And thank you, Tiny Joe Flacco helmet.
Yeah, and thank you, Joe Flacco, for sponsoring the sponsors at the Joe Flacco sponsorship table.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Now, let's get into it.
Are we getting into it?
I've been waiting for this.
Can I lead into do you mind if I set this up?
By all means, go for it.
All right. So everybody knows I have not been shy about Lamar Jackson. I have been very vocal about him, both positive and negative. Well, there's been some stuff popping up on my feed. Apparently, I have a lot of Ravens people that I follow and or follow us. And the NFL had posted that Lamar Jackson is a top blank QB in the NFL. And so most of the time, I'm lighthearted. So I said top 33. Yeah. And then NFL or somebody posted, well, who's the most underrated NFL player? and someone put up a picture of Lamar Jackson. I just thought, you know what? I can be silly, but that's just ludicrous because Lamar Jackson is far from underrated. Is he highly criticized? Maybe.
So
I mean,
sure.
by me, definitely. Is he? But he's definitely not underrated. If anything, I'd say he branches into the overrated category, especially over talked about. So I just put, they didn't say overrated. And you would have thought I shot him in the face with the responses I got. Now, I will be clear. I think that one had some 600-700 likes. So a lot of people are agreeing because we don't have 600 or 700 followers. I mean, you guys can get after that. Start subscribing and following on the socials. It's down below Aylers. Aylers, point down. Point down, Aylers.
Right beneath
socials. There you go. So, but obviously when you get on the social medias, people tend to get a little heated, and the arguments aren't necessarily arguments. The defending your position and necessarily defending your position, it just turns into a joke fest. You know, oh, you're horrible, your mother, you just don't know football, you're clearly an idiot. And so, I mean, I respond in kind. But then I thought, you know what? Everybody thinks I hate Lamar Jackson. I don't hate Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson is overrated. And here's why. So Lamar Jackson has had has had a lot of success with the Baltimore Ravens. True statement?
True.
I'm not going to try to do the research because it crashes the stream, and we can't have that. But he has been very successful. What he has not really been successful is in the pass game. So, do I think he's a good quarterback? No. I think he is a subpar to below average quarterback. He is a once-in-a-generation running back. I say that as I'm not trying to make the joke that he's a running back, but as a running quarterback, he's once in a lifetime. Him and Michael Vick, you know, they don't come around every day, and he probably is even better than Michael Vick when it comes to the running. So the argument I try to make here is with the overrated is whatever people talk about him, they talk about him as a quarterback, but most of his success has come because of his running. Whenever you're a quarterback, a running quarterback, or quarterback that runs, and especially when you're once in a generation, when you're as successful as he is, then that defense has to allocate more defensive personnel to the line of scrimmage to box him in, to keep the run from going. Because if you're running and it's successful, you keep running. You do what, you stick with who brought you to the dance.
Yep.
So therefore, if you're doing that, that means you're getting one-on-one coverage, which means you're getting mismatches, especially with your tight ends, either on a linebacker, on a cornerback. You're either getting size and or speed over who's guarding you, and then it's one-on-one, which allows for less. You're not going to have someone in the zone that you have to worry about. You're not going to have safeties breaking down on your play. You're going to have one-on-one coverage, which is basically at that point backyard pitch and catch. So you will have you're going to have a low attempts, low volume of passes anyway, because you're mostly a run team. Then you're going to have a higher completion because most of your passes are in easy coverage, soft coverage, and they're easy plays. They're not a lot of downfield plays. There's a lot of slants, a lot of tight end work. I think Mark Andrews has the most touchdowns of any tight end in the last 2 or 3 years because of this. And so you run the ball with Lamar Jackson, be it scrambles and or design runs, you get to the red zone, and then you hit a tight end on a slant because everybody's guarding the line of scrimmage. You got the mismatch of the tight end. So then you get higher than average touchdowns. So when you look at his MVP year, he was first in touchdowns. I think he had the best touchdown interception ratio. But he didn't win the MVP off of his passing numbers because he was 22nd in passing yards. That's not good. But what he did win it off is his rushing yards, which he was 6th as a quarterback. That is number 6. There was only 5 other running backs better than him with rushing yards. So whenever people say, oh, well, he's an MVP, did he get MVP based off his passing numbers? Just the touchdowns or even the touchdown interception ratio. So he got it mostly off of his rushing. So it's a combination. But whenever they say he won the MVP, he won it as a quarterback with running back numbers. So that's why I say he's overrated there. He did win MVP. I don't think he should have, but he didn't win it because of his passing numbers. He won it because of his rushing. And his rushing set up his passing success. Now, the part where Lamar Jackson, and I appreciate you sitting and dealing with this, Matt, because I've got on a roll. But the part about it and the way I know that he's not that good of a quarterback yet is the only time he's successful is when they're up in games because he can keep doing the running. Anytime they fall behind in a game, he's not that come from behind guy. He's not going to pass and sling the ball around and catch you up. I think he's got like 4 game-winning drives. It's not very many. So do I dislike Lamar Jackson? No. I think he has the ability to be a very good quarterback. I don't think he will ever get the opportunity to be a very good quarterback because he is a once-in-a-generation running quarterback. So his coaches, and what Greg Roman and John Harbaugh, they're going to exploit his strengths instead of letting him grow. They're not going to let him sit in the pocket and pass. They're going to do more design runs and more scrambling. Then they're going to – so he won't be able to grow. So he's going to become stagnant as a quarterback. People will figure him out. He'll become a gadget. Rush. They stop the rush. He doesn't ever improve as a quarterback, and then he's out of the league in 2 years. I don't want that for him. I think that's what the coaching is going to do to him. But if by some miracle the coaching says you need to be a quarterback and they sit him in that pocket and he grows and he works on that stuff through the offseason, through the mini camps, and he focuses more on being a pass-first quarterback, not a run-first quarterback,
right?
Then I will 100% pull back and say this is what I thought he could be, but I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, and it's not all his fault. It's not just because he's a run-first quarterback, because that's the offense he's put in.
Exactly.
Coach Harbaugh up there in Baltimore saw what he could do and tailored the offense around him to give him the most success.
But running quarterbacks have always had a time limit. They do not last long.
They have, but as the league changes and as the league gets faster, I think we're going to see more guys like Lamar Jackson. I don't think Lamar Jackson's underrated. Lamar Jackson made my top 10 quarterbacks.
He was number 13 for me. That is by far not me hating on a guy.
Yeah.
I put him as 13.
He is a dual threat quarterback because he's such a great athlete. But he's not your traditional quarterback who can stay in the pocket and throw the ball 40 some odd times a game. He's not built like that.
No, but I think for long-term success, he needs to be. I think that regardless of how much the game changes and maybe they'll have a little more successes running, I still think there's a time limit on it. I still think that if he doesn't learn to be more of a pocket, one, the older you get, the slower you usually get, the more time gets to you, the less hits you can take. That will limit his career anyway. I mean, look at Tom Brady. He's not running around getting smacked. He'll play until he's 92. Probably only because I don't want to see him play until he's 92. But
yeah.
So I just wanted to set the record straight. Do I hate Lamar? No, I don't. Do I tend to bash on him? Oh, I love bashing on him mainly because the freaking fanboys for Lamar Jackson are crazy. But I think I even explained that to you when we talked the other day.
Yeah.
If someone come up to me and said Josh Allen's a garbage quarterback or Josh Allen's a running back, I'd say, okay, cool, whatever. But they won't say that because they have to defend him because it's too close to the truth when they say it about Lamar. Someone said that Aaron Rodgers is just a gadget quarterback. I mean, would you argue? No, because that's just so off the rails. It doesn't even make sense. It's not off the rails for Lamar.
I would open a discussion, but if whoever said that starts talking real crazy, then I'll disengage. But if someone said, Aaron Rodgers is only a gimmick quarterback, I would say, how?
He just has extreme arm talent, good decision making, and has good touch on the throws. I mean, that's just a gadget.
And good pocket sense, and is mobile but isn't a running quarterback.
So from now on, whenever engaged on the social medias and someone brings up Lamar Jackson, from here on out, I'm just going to cut this video out of here's why and just let them watch that. Then they'll know where I stand. No more arguing. No more any of that. So I think he could be a great quarterback. I don't think he is. If anybody puts him on the same level as Josh Allen at this point, I think you're just ridiculous. Josh Allen's numbers last year alone make anything that Lamar did look silly. And I'm not saying that Josh Allen is super amazing. I told Ehlers, I want one more year of him doing what he did last year, and then I'll be okay with it.
Here's the thing. It's not that Lamar's even an overrated quarterback. It's that he's a good dual threat quarterback.
But that's saying it's really not that much of a dual threat. Everything is predicated on his run. If he did not say he got what Mahomes got and got a foot issue and he could not run the ball,
right?
He is not a quarterback anymore at that point.
Well, he is, but then he's an average quarterback. He
won't even be average. He'll be sub-average. He'll be, because when it comes to him sitting in the pocket and slinging, at this point, what I've seen, what he's shown me, he does not have the ability to do that. Because teams don't fear his run. They can drop into coverage. They can do zones. They can, confuse him. They can do all sorts of stuff. But the point right now is there's too much defensive personnel being allocated to the line of scrimmage to stop the quarterback run right now. That's the only reason he has had any success number-wise.
Right. But he is still throwing for about 3,000 yards a season, which is, in today's NFL, is above average. And he is still throwing for 20, 30 touchdowns a season. So he's still a quarterback. But he's only getting those numbers while everybody fears to run. Right, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. He is a dual threat quarterback. He needs the run to be successful, but he is a quarterback. I would never say he's just a running back. Oh, the running back thing is, if anybody ever says Lamar Jackson's a running back, he's an extremely talented runner as a quarterback, but he is still a quarterback. As long as he's in that position as quarterback, as long as he's still listed on the depth chart as QB1, he is a quarterback. Well, he's still running the offense. Yes. He's still making checks. Yeah, he's still the central hub for everything. He still has to call the audibles. But yes, if you take his running ability away, he's not your traditional pocket quarterback, and then his production will dip. Yes, it would. And that's what I tried to – that's the argument I tried to make. And that's not saying – and they're like, well, you took away Josh Allen's eyes. He wouldn't be able to throw the ball. Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if he's not running the ball in designed runs – if he's not scrambling and doing what he does, which I understand is part of his game, I'm not saying that he needs to take that away. I think that should always be a part of his game to a point, just like Josh Allen always still has that available to him. It makes him so dangerous. But his passing needs to be more. So the eyes are essential. Happening to scramble or do designed runs is not essential to being a quarterback. It is essential for him right now. I don't think it should have to be. I think I would just love to see Lamar get that opportunity to sit back because I would love to be right about that. I want him and Kyler Murray to be amazing in this league. I mean, Josh Allen, I think, is going to be. I want one more year like last year, an MVP-type season. Patrick Mahomes is already amazing. We know that. I think Justin Fields has an opportunity to do that, and that's off of zero things. I've never seen him throw a pass. But his attitude, the way he talks about the game, his actions. So anyway, that's what that is. So again, in the future, if you are on the Twitter and you decide to say something and hype up Lamar Jackson and you just see a YouTube link, that's me. No need to argue with you guys. Again, I don't like coming off as a Lamar hater. I'm not. Yeah. I really want him to be great. I just think that he's too talented in one area and he's not going to get the opportunity to do what he needs to be an all-around quarterback. Yeah. Yeah. And that was why. All right. I'm sorry. I had to get that out there. Oh yeah. No, for sure.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you the official quarterback of Up the Gut.
That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. I don't care what they all say. That's right. I'ma do this thing my way. Let's go. Been grinding hard on it all day. Okay. We work hard, then we all play. Yeah. I'm addicted to the grind, man. That's right. So I refuse to waste time, man.
Speaking of quarterbacks. But do you feel better now that you got all that out?
Yeah, I was never angry about it. I thought some of the stuff was funny, but again, the only reason I wanted to do that is just because I will bicker and fight and I'll defend my position, but I just I spend so much time arguing against people saying he's a top 5 quarterback that people think I think he's number 38 in the league. I don't think that. I thought he was number 13. So,
yeah.
What do you got for us now?
Now, it's probably your favorite segment of the show. I think it's time to rate some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Go on, Ray!
And as the thumbnail said in the title, this is our pre-preseason top 10 power rankings.
Which means we're focusing a lot off of last year.
Yeah, focusing a lot for last year.
But rock, paper, scissors. I win. I go first.
Oh, you do win. I can't paper.
Number 10 in my power rankings, I have the Carson Wentz Indianapolis Colts.
Ooh.
I have a lot of faith in what this is going to do. This is going to revitalize Carson Wentz's career. I think that with that running back, which I always forget his name, I want to say it's like a Taylor, like a Jason Taylor, Jeremiah Taylor. Anyway, I think that with him running, their defense is solid enough. T.Y.
Yep.
Anyway, I think that they're going to be. I think that they're going to be up there.
Could be Jonathan Taylor, by the way.
I told you it was a J.
Yep.
I don't remember.
At 10 is where I have the Washington football team.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a top 10 team. They had success last year, even though I believe they still had a losing record, but they won the division. The defense was a top 10 defense easily, and they had to go through three different quarterbacks last season.
Hey, Nikki.
But
we all love Alex Smith. I mean, we can all agree on that.
Well,
but
most of us, because
I think we'll have a little more consistency with the Ryan Fitzpatrick back there, who is the official quarterback of Up the Gut. So I wouldn't put him in my top 10, but I like it. I hope you're right.
Yeah, I think they're going to have success, and I think they can be the first person in a while to repeat as division winners.
Yeah, that division, they really like to round robin it. Except the Giants, they just don't want to participate
at all. 9 is where I put the Colts.
Nice. Okay, we're good. Well, so you go ahead and say what you got to say about them.
I think Carson Wentz will have success there, and I think if he stays healthy, he can bring a little bit more to the table than what Phillip Rivers was able to. Because Phillip Rivers, that was like year 17 for him, and he wasn't in as great a shape as your Tom Brady's and your Aaron Rodger's. And not his fault either. He got a lot more beat up too during the course of his career.
Yeah, and it's not that he did bad.
No,
that was his swan song. I mean, he got him in the playoffs. His numbers weren't bad, but he's more of a leader at that point, than he was the focal point of that offense. And I think Carson Wentz could be that focal point.
Right. And I think the defense is still good. Not top 10, but good. And I think if the offense can pick up their production, then that defense will be good enough for them to be a top 10 team.
Nice. Well, right here is where I put the Los Angeles Rams.
Ooh, at 9.
Mm-hmm. I think Stafford isn't that much different than Goff. I think that their offense, I mean, with Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, good receivers, not amazing receivers. I don't even know who's running the ball there anymore, nor do I care. And that team's defense. But the defense can occasionally get exposed. Aaron Donald's going to wreck stuff and annihilate people, probably get his 900th Defensive Player of the Year award. Jalen Ramsey will do some stuff, but then Josh Allen will come to town and make him look silly. So overall, I think that defense is enough to keep him in that top 10 power ranking personally, but I don't think I could put him any higher than that. Right. It was kind of a toss up on that 9-10 for me. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
I was trying to upload the Rams depth chart because
I told you I didn't care about the running back.
I cared because I went to Google and they listed a dude named Jake Funk. But I don't see him.
Now I care. Tell me about Jake
but I
Funk.
don't see him on the depth chart on ESPN.
Oh.
But yeah, it's just some dude named Jake Funk.
Well, that's just silly.
That's such an awesome name.
That's funky. Did you have anything you want to add on the Rams, or you want me to move on?
No, I think here in the head, regardless of who's playing quarterback, they're going to have to ride the defense to whatever success they have, which will get them to the playoffs, barring any crazy injuries. But unless Matt Stafford can be better than Goff and elevate that offense to the next level, they're not going anywhere past the division round again.
Yep. Agreed.
Hey.
And being the first ever champion of rock, paper, scissors on Up to Good, I have the even still. And I just want to state that for being such a Lamar hater or a Ravens hater and Raven fans being so mean to me, I have put them in the top 10 offenses. I put them in the top 10 defenses. I have them in the top 10 kicker. I have them in the top 10 tight end. I have them a top 15 quarterback. It's like everything I put, I have them in there. So at number 8, I have the Baltimore Ravens as a top 10 team. You jerks.
I have the Ravens at 8.
See, we know what we're talking about. You don't agree and not know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably going to have number 1 rushing offense again. The defense is going to be solid like it always is. Justin Tucker, although had a little trouble with that Buffalo win, solid kicker. I mean, it's just a good team. Like I said, they rank in everything but receiver, which I don't blame because I think Hollywood Brown could 100% be a top 10 receiver. I just don't think he's had the opportunity, just like Lamar. So other than receiver, we have them top 10 everything. How they cannot be in the top 10?
Yeah, no, they have success every year because their offense is so hard to really predict and kind of get a grip on. Now, granted, if you can do it, you can beat them down pretty well because that's how you beat them is you stop Lamar Jackson from just torching you on the ground and then letting him pick you off through the air.
I'm on the phone.
What are you doing?
But then they didn't want to talk to me.
How dare they?
Anyway, later me answer the phone during the call or during the show. I'm sorry.
7.
You didn't even give us your take on Baltimore.
I did. So they're top 10 everything. How could I not put them in the top 10? They're going to have the number 1 rushing offense. They're going to have a solid defense, a great kicker. They're going to be good. I hope that their passing game increases with Sammy Watkins, Hollywood Brown, Mark Andrews, and whoever else they have there. I hope they let him be more of a pocket passer this year. He's working on the deep ball. That's what Ehlers told us.
Yeah.
So again, I think that even if they do let him start that way, if it starts to not work out, they'll just revert back to the run, and I'll never doubt his ability as a running back. So,
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
but
if it can get you to the playoffs, I mean, they're inching closer and closer. They finally won a playoff game, so maybe they'll win 2 this year, and maybe within the next 20 years they'll get to the Super Bowl. But I doubt it.
At 7, I have the New England Patriots.
You're stupid. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I shouldn't have said that.
Off the hip.
No, I'll let you explain yourself. I see why you put them there, but I would never do that.
It's because mostly because their defense, because it's Bill Belichick. He had a top 10 defense with half a squad last season. They're all coming back. They're all gonna have a full off season to get back into that rhythm and get back into doing whatever it is that Bill Belichick loves to do that has worked for 2+ decades. The running game will always be strong, not top 10, but it'll always be strong. You can't ignore it. And it doesn't matter.
30 little guys running everywhere.
It doesn't matter who they have at running back. It always works just enough. The only big question mark is at quarterback, whether or not Cam will improve or if Cam is terrible, if Mac Jones will come in and just immediately start lighting the league on fire.
They've got plenty of weapons. They added every available top end tight end. They got Aguilar and whoever knows all the other receivers. So,
so they have the weapons. It's just whether or not that offense will gel. Because I almost called him Michael Vick. Cam Newton did not look good last year.
No, and he hasn't looked good so far this year. But maybe he'll surprise us all. I think he's a little too conceited to end up being good at this point. He'll blame everybody else. But the reason I left him off, I understand every reason you put him on there. But one, buying the offseason has never worked for a team. I've never seen it work where they spend big on free agents. Two, it is Bill Belichick, but it's Cam Newton. I think they cancel each other out. So when it comes down to it, it'll be a good defense, but they're not, in the years past with the Bill Belichick, they've been the top team in that East, and they're the guys to beat. And, they kind of have that feel about them. Well, now they're just another team in the East. Buffalo and even Miami, I think, has usurped them at the moment. They're third best in the AFC East right now, and people know that. So it's a lot less than the mystique you got going with the team. So that's why I wouldn't put them there. They could prove me wrong because, like I said, I agree with everything you said there. Teams coming back. They've got great J.C. Jackson, Stephon Gilmore, great defensive secondary. They got linebackers coming back like crazy. They have potential to be back to the Patriots we know. Maybe it was just COVID and Cam Newton, and maybe Cam Newton starts a couple games, gets benched, and Mac Jones is amazing. I just don't see it. I didn't say who I have here.
You did not.
Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
I can't count them out.
Around.
They're really good. Russell Wilson's still really good. DK Metcalf still really good. Tyler Lockett still really good. That offensive line not very good.
No.
But I think that they'll still make do. I'm not going to count them out, and I think especially after the way last year went, I don't see them falling off the way they did. The only problem they'll have, and the reason they may end up falling off that list, is I have the NFC West as probably the toughest division this year.
Oh, yeah.
So, in fact, 3 of them made my top 10 here.
Yep.
So, I don't know if you have anything to add to that, but
like I said, it all depends on if Russell stays, because he hasn't signed anything, and he had all the, he had a lot of complaints when the offseason started. It's been kind of quiet in Seattle, so we'll see what happens. But if Russell sticks around, they will definitely be a top 10 team for sure.
And what I've been seeing on the social media is he said that him and Pete Carroll are still friends. So I think he's realized he's not going anywhere. So, he's just going to make buddies.
Aaron Rodgers and LaFleur are still friends.
I disagree. No one likes LaFleur.
No
one likes his second half judgments. He just needs to leave.
No, we don't mind LaFleur. It's the other guy. But
I haven't. Maybe it's the name, but I had never heard of him before that. And then he just comes in, and now Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to come back. Number 6, I have the Tennessee Titans.
All right. Yep. At 6, I have Seattle.
Nice. Okay. Well, you go ahead and say Seattle because I want you to.
I think it's mostly the offense that's going to give them success. The defense still has good pieces. I believe Bobby Wagner's still there at middle linebacker.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they have a couple good pieces, but obviously the defense has never been the same since the Legion of Boom disbanded.
They had extreme talent. That wasn't going to stick around forever. It actually stayed together longer than I thought it would.
Yeah. If the defense can get better, I think that'll be huge for Seattle because that's what they need. Because they're built to win shootouts, but you can't win every one like that. There'll be days when a team's defense will just get after Russell Wilson, usually the second half of the season when that offensive line starts getting tired. Mm-hmm. But you're going to need games where your defense can hold the other team to under 20 points. And until that happens, they're not going to be contenders anymore. They'll still make the playoffs, maybe win the division, maybe, but I don't see them as legitimate Super Bowl threats unless the defense can step up.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel like Seattle will probably, once the season start, will probably drop off my top 10. But again, it's just because of the division they play in.
Yeah.
So who else has told their mom about the show? And then the Tennessee Titans. I mean, Ryan Tannehill's been playing really good football since he's been in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. He's got A.J. Brown, who is amazing at wide receiver, and now he
Now
has
he's
Julio Jones too. I mean,
And Derrick Henry behind him.
oh, is that the running back? Yeah,
is the
and he's
running
got
back.
the best running back in the game, who's probably going to go for another 2K, and runs like a proper gentleman, pinky up. I mean, that offense is going to be insane. The only problem they have is their defense can get exposed. So, I think the guy at Mike Slicker told me they got a new defensive coordinator. Vrabel is a defensive guy, so maybe they'll get that hemmed in. But I have them winning the AFC South, I believe, and so I think that they're going to be. I think they're going to be a force having Julio, because if you even start to hem up Derrick Henry, which is always their go-to plan, is run the ball with Derrick Henry. But if you even start to hem him up a little bit, well, who are you going to guard? A.J. Brown, Julio Jones? And then as soon as they start airing out, they'll just run it again. This is going to be fun to watch.
And then whoever they have at tight end, they don't have to be great.
No, at this point they don't.
With Julio and A.J. Brown both having to be covered, an average tight end will have his moments. All they have to do is honestly not drop the ball.
Mm-hmm. No, this is and Tannehill still. I mean, he can be a dual threat quarterback.
Yeah, he's got some wheels on him. Yeah, absolutely.
So I will say one thing. I think they will stay probably around this area all year for me. They may go up a little bit, but I don't know if they'll get much worse than this. They're going to be really good, and this is going to be fun to watch.
Here's the crazy part. They were my 11th team.
Really?
Yeah, they are the highest of honorable mentions for me.
I didn't even do honorable mentions.
And
you can't make the top 10. Are you even worth talking about? Are you?
Well, I mean, we have more than 10 teams make the playoffs now. We've always had at least 12.
Yeah.
Now it's 14.
I think if I would have had I have one because I remember I knocked two of them off my list. So, all right.
5.
At 5, I have the San Francisco 49ers.
Didn't even make my list.
And I get why, because honestly, last year they weren't really worth talking about. But I've seen a healthy 49ers team. When all of their starters get to play, they are legitimate contenders.
And I like San Francisco quite a bit. Deebo Samuel, Kittle. I love Kittle. Running backs. Yeah. And then I am a Garoppolo fan.
They have a fullback.
Something. Yeah. Anyway, so I am a San Francisco. I like Garoppolo. The thing is, and I think I even said it in our 2 early Super Bowl predictions, I just think they're going to have a little trouble with that. They're going to hit a slide, and they're going to start Trey Lance, and then Trey Lance is going to have some trouble in the beginning. And I think the loss of Salah as a defensive coordinator is going to hurt him too. But, I mean, it's just when you're playing in the toughest division, someone's got to be worse, and that's them. And so I kept them out. Would they probably be top 15? I don't know. Maybe.
Because here's the thing. The quarterback is iffy in San Francisco, but it's not their offense that's really we got to worry about. When they're healthy, they're probably a top 3 defense.
Yeah, and but again, the loss of Salah, will that knock them down?
Maybe, but
I think I had them at like 9 or 10 on my defensive this time.
I think they have so many good pieces in place that
they brought back Fred Warner.
Yeah, a competent defensive coordinator can make it work.
Yeah.
Because that's how much talent they have in their defense.
It just depends on if you get a defensive coordinator that's going to come in there and say, this is a system you guys know and runs just flawlessly, so we're going to stick with your system and I'm going to coach you up on that. Or if he's the type of guy that's going to come and say, we're switching everything, you're now running my defense.
Right.
That could just completely ruin everything.
Right. And yeah, again, this is very early for us to make these rankings, and once the season starts, they can all get blown to hell.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
for right now, with the talent they have, the Niners are a top 5 team.
Well, I mean, not to me, but to you.
Well, I know, yeah.
But do you know who is a top 5 team? The Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, no, they made some moves this offseason.
I am maybe beyond high on the Arizona Cardinals in my pocket quarterback.
You do love Kyler Murray.
I do. But the thing is DeAndre Hopkins, Larry Fitzgerald,
Yep.
AJ Green, and I want to say they have a good tight end. I just can't remember who it is, and then Kyler Murray, and then they've got the Robert Connors or whatever off of Pittsburgh. So I believe they're going to be a good offense, and I actually had them winning or having the best record in the NFC in my 2 early predictions. And then on top of that, J.J. Watt, Chandler, is that right?
Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones, whoever. I know they lost Peterson, but
Buda Baker.
Yeah, Buda Baker. Oh, yeah, Buda Baker. So this is going to be a really good team, and I think, they had some really high spots last year, and they kind of fizzled right there when it mattered, but Kyler was injured. So I think that they're going to take that and they're going to grow on it, and I think that this is going to be a team to reckon with. Will they make it to the Super Bowl? I don't think so. As long as Aaron Rodgers comes back and he's Aaron Rodgers, I think Aaron Rodgers will knock them out in the playoffs because he's got to at some point. At some point, he has to stop losing these teams.
I mean, maybe they've never beat the Cardinals in the playoffs.
Well, there's always a time.
I mean,
they almost did with that Kurt Warner game. That was insane.
There
was more touchdowns than incompletions in that game.
They almost did a couple years ago when Rodgers had to throw 2 Hail Marys to take it overtime. I remember watching that game because Rodgers threw like a 70-yard pass to get him to about the 25-30, then threw another Hail Mary for the touchdown that took him into overtime. And then the first offensive play in overtime for the Cardinals, it was like a weird pitch or a swing pass to Larry Fitzgerald, and our defense let Larry Fitzgerald run like 85 yards down to the 1-yard line.
That's not completely unheard of, though. Like, Larry Fitzgerald is really talented no matter how old he gets.
But I don't care who it is. Your defense shouldn't let someone run 85 yards on them in a playoff game.
I mean, you never should in any game.
But especially not in the playoffs. You're a playoff caliber team. You should be able to stop whatever that was.
Well, I mean, at that point, once he caught the ball, he was a runner. And you know how Green Bay feels about runners. Running quarterbacks, running backs, apparently honestly, running receivers.
I was more angry that they tackled him at the 1 instead of letting him score.
That's with true. All that running, would have given you guys another chance.
No, it's overtime. You score a touchdown, it's over.
Oh.
If you're going to let him run that far, let Larry Fitzgerald have the touchdown. Don't let him run the 1 and let someone else get the touchdown on their record.
No, that's a good point. Why do you guys do that to Larry? He deserves better.
Yeah. What, you thought you were going to goal line stand on the 1? Get out of here, Green Bay. I know better.
Fitz Pro Bowl.
That's right. All the Fitzes.
If it's a Fitz, put him in the Pro Bowl. We said so. Okay, where are we going? It's my turn.
4.
I think this is one we're going to differ on.
Probably.
I hope not. Because if you put them higher, it just doesn't make sense to me. But this is where I put the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, we didn't agree because this is where I put the Green Bay Packers.
You son of a bitch. I don't know. Maybe it'll come to bite me in the ass again because for some odd reason, Tom Brady teams always end up just doing it. But I still don't think there is a talented a team because of Tom Brady as the Green Bay Packers. So obviously they've got a great defense. When it comes to the defensive line, the pass rush is amazing. Secondary is questionable. Running is, it's allowable, but they got really good receiving core, and they got a quarterback that apparently everybody lets win. So that's all I want to say on that.
It's not because of Tom Brady. I still don't give him all the credit for it. I give him more because of his influence, that he's able to look at the coaches and go, I want this guy, and he got that guy. I want this guy, and he got that guy. Whatever he wanted to make the team better, he got. And I wish I knew what that felt like.
That's true. Aaron Rodgers. I just don't want you trying to replace me. Give me a receiver. Oh, we're going to get someone to replace you. And no receivers ever.
Yeah, no, Aaron Rodgers, they take receivers away and just they don't tell.
Like, we're going to take the guy that you've had the most chemistry with ever in your career and just get rid of him. Someone else can have him.
You remember that? You remember that guy wears 87, can just he runs like a deer with his long strides, and he shouldn't be as fast as he is, but he's a lot faster than he's supposed to be. And no, we fired him. What?
You like?
Yeah, we cut him yesterday.
You literally come up to us and said, I really like this Kumaro tight end or whatever his name is. Yeah, we're cutting him right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah,
Best way to run a team.
I wish I knew what that felt like, to where they worked to give your quarterback everything they need to succeed. Aaron Rodgers wishes he knew that felt like. That's why we're in this situation now.
Yeah, I agree.
But I got him at 4th because even with Aaron Rodgers there, I just feel like once the playoffs come around, the defense will let him down. So they're going to put too much on his shoulders. And then he's going to make the one mistake that costs us the game. And then everyone's going to blame the whole thing on Aaron Rodgers. And he's going to be like, why'd I even come back?
Yeah, probably.
But offensively, if Aaron Rodgers comes back, I have no doubt that we will be the top offense in football again.
I just, again, like I said at the onset of the show, Aaron Rodgers has had me through a loop because I've been saying for the longest time he was disgruntled last year and he had an MVP season, but he's taken the disgruntled to a new level. I mean, at this point, I don't know what to expect out of him.
And I don't blame him at all.
And that's why they didn't make my list. Go ahead.
But no.
3.
Who you got 3?
It's you. You're on 3.
That's right. I'm on 3. This is where I put the Buffalo Bills. Top 3.
I think that's where you put the Buffalo
Top
Bills.
3.
I was just joking. That's where I put the Green Bay Packers.
And honestly, the only reason the Bills are top 3 is because they need a running game. They need to bounce the offense a little bit more.
I agree. And I think they will. I've said it before. I think this is the year they stop trying to do the committee. They let Singletary be the main guy, and I think that they have some success.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
I mean, there's not much to say. The defense is still rock solid. Maybe not elite, but they're a really solid defense.
Yeah, Trey White is probably one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Cornerback 2, his question, is it Levi Wallace? Is it Dane Jackson? Safety with Poyer and Hyde. You can't probably find a better safety duo in the league. Tremaine Edmonds is good. We got
Did you saw that little defensive end, number 55?
Talking the linebacker?
Well, he's listed. He looks like a linebacker, but you got him listed defensive end.
What's his name?
I can't remember. I just remember he wears number 55.
Well, look it up. I can't look it up.
I'm working on it. I thought you would just know.
I'm drawing a blank, and I think I know who it is, but I'm drawing a blank. Is that we just re-signed him?
Jerry Hughes, yes.
Oh, man, Hughes is 55. You're right. No, he's a defensive end. He's not small. He doesn't look like a linebacker. Who am I thinking of? Who's the linebacker we just re-signed? Because you got Jerry Hughes on the line. You got Harrison Phillips on the line. Star Lotulelei is he's back from COVID.
Milano?
Yeah, Matt Milano. That's what I was trying to think of. Matt Milano, he's back, and I mean we've only lost one game when he was in it. So defense should gel better than they did last year. Not to mention we drafted 32 defensive ends to get that pass rush up because our pass rush wasn't good last year. Having Star Lotulelei, having him there. I mean, we signed him, and then he sat out because of COVID. Then offensively, you got Josh Allen, who if he repeats last year, is going to have an amazing season.
He's going to be in the MVP talks. Yeah.
You got Stephon Diggs, who is an amazing. You have Emmanuel Sanders, who's good. Cole Beasley, who's amazing. Singletary, hopefully, will step up, and hopefully Dawson Knox will step up. And we're still not out of the Ertz talk. If we get Ertz, it's going to be really amazing.
Yeah.
So, and we got Tyler Bass and Reed Ferguson.
I hope Dawson Knox steps up too. I don't know why I'm so sold on him, but I just really
because you got him 4 touchdowns, and you said you would, and that video will show up eventually.
That's right. I said I was going to do a thing, and I did a thing.
I think
the Bills just have to show me that they can beat the Chiefs.
And the Green Bay Packers are, I mean, no matter what, if Aaron Rodgers is there, they're going to be good. Devontae Adams is amazing. Easily talked 1A, 1B as best receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, great running back, only going to get better.
Yeah. AJ Dillon's developing.
They did draft a receiver and then
Amari Rodgers.
Tanya's good. The defense, they drafted. I think your guys' first pick was defensive cornerback, right? Stokes, I think. Something Stokes.
Yep.
So I mean, you guys are making strides, and so long as good.
If he can develop really quick, if he can be anywhere even close to the level that Jair Alexander is, that'd be so huge.
Oh yeah, Jair Alexander. Shoot, how I even forget about him? He's amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing. The Smith brothers are good. Not as good as they were the first season they played for us, but they're good. But we still didn't have a top 10 defense. And again, when the playoffs came rolling around, that's what killed us.
Yep. And that's what you focused on. So the only reason I put him 3, because that top 3 was just it was tough for me.
Yeah.
It moved around a lot.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, I put them at the bottom of the top 3 because I just don't know what to expect now. Will Aaron Rodgers come in and just say, you know what? We'd worry about this next offseason. It's time to win some games. I assume so, but at this point, I don't know because I didn't expect him to carry it on this long. Mandatory minicamp, that's about time you shut down your little whiny fit and get to work.
Yeah.
All right.
2.
Again, as the first ever winner of rock, paper, scissors when Matt wasn't ready. Number 2 is where I have the Buffalo Bills.
Number 2 is where I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I figured you'd put them there. I get why you did it. I'm not as high on them as you are. But Buffalo, I explained it all.
Because you
amazing. We do need a run
you
game
don't
to
the NFC. That's why you didn't see what I saw.
Exactly. I think I explained it last week. Whenever you put them so high, when it comes down to it, they hurt you so bad. You need them to be the best. Me, I didn't watch them as much because they're not in my conference. No, but
I don't need them to be the best. I hope they go 0-17 somehow next season. That's what I hope.
That would be that. Would Tom Brady retire Vontae Davis style, like right in the middle of it, like I'm done?
Oh, I wish they would play that bad. I just know they're not going to.
No, they'll be good. They've got a good team.
And it's less about their offense. It's less about what Tom Brady does. It's about what they do on the other side of the ball to help Tom Brady. Defense, when that defense is clicking, they're as dangerous as anybody.
And I mean, it's true.
Especially if you go in with an injured offensive line, like the Chiefs did.
Yeah, no, I mean, and excellent coaching.
Yep.
I want to. What is the old Tampa? Who's the defensive coordinator there?
Let me do a little bit of crack research.
Wasn't it the old Tampa Bay coach? Anyway, but Bruce Arians, I've always been high on Bruce Arians. He's a bit hippie. Todd Bowles, okay, the old Arizona defensive coordinator and Jets head coach. Yep. Todd Bowles, okay, not Raheem Morris is who I was thinking of. But he has put up some good game plans. So again, that's why they're top 5. You win the Super Bowl, you're going to be up there. I just think that people might not let them get away with as much as they did.
It's not about letting them get away.
I think people were sleeping on him a little bit last year. They won't sleep on him this year.
Now, here's it. Nobody sleeps on Tom Brady team.
I do.
Nobody slept.
I've slept through their games.
Nobody slept on the Bucs. It's just the Bucs took a while to gel. That was the problem.
Well, we'll see. If they start off hot and start off really good, then you're right. If they start off just like they did last year and come on hot, then it's just how a Tom Brady team works.
Yeah. Tom Brady is notorious for getting a slow start.
But again, if the Buffalo Bills find a run game, watch out, universe.
1.
So I'm betting we're going to match on this one.
And being that you did not lose, to the loser go the spoils. You get a list your number 1.
That's right. This is where I put. We should say it at the same time because I'm pretty sure we're going to match. All right.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. The
Dallas
New
Cowboys.
York Jets.
Oh wait, what?
No, I'm
all right, for real.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Kansas
City Chiefs.
Yep. And
for obvious reasons.
And I kind of don't like saying that because growing up in Missouri, the Chiefs. Well, that's not true. Growing up in Missouri is when the Rams were good, and that's all we heard about was the Rams. Blah 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 blah.
No, and when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, the bandwagon fans were as bad, if not worse, than the Seattle fans when they won the Super Bowl. Bandwagon fans galore. But I didn't live in Seattle. I live in Kansas City. That was horrible. But luckily, most of them went to Tampa, so we're doing better now. So
yeah, the Chiefs up and down are just so good. I mean, more on offense than defense, but they're still a top 10 defense.
But that defense is going to be, when it comes to playoff times, they're going to do what they got to do. So ultimately, when it comes down to it, they didn't lose anybody that I think is going to ultimately hurt the team. You know, Le'Veon Bell, that's not going to hurt the team. Sammy Watkins, it's not going to hurt the team.
They went out and found more than tackles for the offensive line.
Even though what Kyle Long is out for a little bit.
That's right. Yeah, we forgot about that. The not so
breaking offseason news.
Kyle Long is hurt,
but he'll be back. So they retooled the offensive line, and Patrick Mahomes, hopefully, if he can stay healthy and he doesn't have to run for his life, he's probably the most dangerous man until Josh Allen proves it 2 years in a row. He's the most dangerous man.
Yeah.
So
I would love to see another 3-way MVP race with our guys and Mahomes again.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be nice just to get back to football, and not only get back to football, but get back to football where we're together watching it, reacting together. We will be better for it because you will see more AFC. I will see more NFC. You'll see more AFC East. You'll understand why I was so high on a lot of the stuff the Dolphins defense was doing. You'll get to see what Xavier Howard's all about.
Yeah. You'll
get to see the Patriots aren't what you think they are. And then I can talk you down whenever Tampa Bay or whenever Tennessee comes and runs all over you. I can talk you down, calm you down, or get punched.
We're not playing them this season. We played them last year, so we got 3 more years before they come back, or we go there. However it goes.
All right, I didn't know. I just went with someone. How about when Dalvin Cook runs all over you? Then I can comfort you.
Honestly, I'm used to it at this point.
Makes sense. And, but I mean, I feel like we kind of cut Kansas City short on talking about them.
But we talked about them all playoffs.
Yeah, it's just at this point, but what is there to say? Yeah. Everybody knows who they are.
What is there to say that you don't already know? Patrick Mahomes is probably the baddest man in football. He's and the Legion of Zoom is still together.
Mm-hmm. Tyreek, and then Kelsey's always amazing, even though he won't come on our show.
I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire will step up a little more this season.
So long as he doesn't get injured again. He was playing really good. And the defense, I mean, although not horribly changed, still has Tyrann Mathieu and Frank Clark and Jones. And
that's the good thing about having an offense that good. The defense isn't asked to do as much, and that makes playing defense easier when you're not the part of the team that's leaned on so heavy.
Yeah, no kidding. Whenever, I mean, that's what made Indianapolis great for so long with Peyton Manning. They'd go up real quick, and then that defense could pin their ears back, go after the quarterback. They didn't have to worry about anything. It was a one-dimensional offense. All they're going to do is they're going to throw the ball because they have to score points fast. If they can't run the ball, I mean, even if they run it occasionally and you give them 8 yards, okay, they ran the clock down. It helps you out. So anyway.
But I was shocked last year when we did play against Tennessee and we held Derrick Henry under 100 yards.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't see it coming.
No, but I mean, just like whenever we played Baltimore, Buffalo played Baltimore in the playoffs, we sold out everything to stop that run. Yeah, I mean, that's what you guys did too. All right. Well, I mean, we rated some stuff.
We did
well. Amazingly.
Go on and rate it.
All right. Look at that soy sauce.
So beautiful.
Look how it's beautifully stacked. Who did that stuff?
Stacked spinning and Joe Flacco helmet.
And a tiny Joe Flacco helmet to remember the good old day.
Just to remember the good times.
Well, but
I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't like ending these things because I enjoy them so much. I guess we're not ending.
Do you have someone that you're mad at?
No. because I'm an extremely positive person. I'm probably the most positive person in the world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Flippin' dadgummit!
I have to do it. I don't want to do it, but you made me do it. Joe Flacco fanboys, or not Joe Flacco? That's me. I'm a Joe Flacco fanboy. Lamar Jackson fanboys. Just chill off a little bit, guys. You have to look at it logically. Is he top half of the quarterbacks? Yes. Is he top 2? No. Is he top 5? Probably not. But come on. You have to, at some point, be a little realistic. Even I, after Josh Allen put up numbers that Lamar Jackson dreams of in his fucking booties at night, flipping booties at night, even I say that Josh Allen needs to do another year of this before I'm really comfortable saying he's that good. Based off his numbers, he's clearly in the top 5. Lamar Jackson, no, MVP or not, he is not top 5 in quarterback. So you guys just, Lamar Jackson fanboys, just pull back a little bit. And I say this in the nicest way possible because I just spent literally 4 days of my life nonstop having to deal with your Twitter shit.
Flippin' dadgummit!
Oh man.
Just come up with one. You can do it. You got this.
Honestly, at this point, it's just the Green Bay Packers as a whole, Aaron Rodgers included.
Yes.
Why are we still going through this? How do you not at this point figure out if you're going to either work with Aaron Rodgers or just let him go? If you have to, make him retire. Tell him he's going to just give us a definitive answer on whether or not we have to rely on Jordan Love. I need to be prepared for this so week 1 doesn't come around and I'm surprised that, Aaron Rodgers isn't playing. And then Jordan Love looks like all the other people who backed up Aaron Rodgers over time and we just lose every game. And just that depression will be so much easier to handle if I'm ready for it. You can't just drop that on me. My widow heart can't take it.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Just figure it out. He's the winning MVP. I'm not a GM. I don't know everything about running a football team. But I feel like if you have the reigning MVP on your squad, you would do everything to keep him. Maybe I don't know as much as I thought, but in my head, that's how it goes. If you have the most valuable player, if he's that valuable, you bend over backwards to make sure he stays on your side. I've never seen someone win the MVP and then hold out the next year. Never.
I've never seen someone as talented as Aaron Rodgers. Someone that consisted so much of their team be treated the way he has, though, at the same point. They act like they could do without him, and come on. Maybe they've just been so spoiled having Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers that they just feel like they can do whatever they want. But at some point, you have to realize that without him, you guys really aren't anything.
They should know that because of all the games he's missed with all his broken collarbones and his concussions and his calf injuries, we won 1 game out of all of those. 1. And somebody besides Aaron Rodgers has been there for all of it.
You agree with yourself. You know what?
Right.
Tell him, Matt. Tell him right now.
To sign Aaron Rodgers.
Flippin' dadgummit!
Whatever he wants, just give it to him.
Just give him everything. Give him ownership in the team. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. Let him own the team. Just get him back to practice.
So,
yeah, that was the most negative portion of our show. That's the first time I had to put someone on there.
I really wish you'd do it more.
Weeks.
I to be honest, I think this can be one of the most entertaining. And come season time, I'm sure you'll have more.
Once football is actually going, there will be one thing every week that will make me angry. It always happens. I know it will.
Yeah. No, you do get pretty negative, especially on your own team during the season.
It's because I have a standard of excellence. I want my team to win. I can't just have them go 8-8 and go, meh. And some people will say I'm not a real fan because I'm so negative, which is silly because how can you be a fan but then also be happy when you see them starting to go on that downward spiral? Well,
you've had a unprecedented time of excellence to go off of. Some of us know what it's like to have a bad team for
I
a
think
long
it's fun
time.
to have a bad team.
No, you don't.
Not for as maybe not for as long of a stretch of time, but I've had
You
down
know whenever
years.
your quarterback's
I watched Brett
injured
Favre
and
go
you
4
guys
and
go.
12. No, I watched a healthy Brett Favre go 4 and 12.
Well,
I watched Aaron Rodgers have to make us go 7, 8 and 1. We still won the division, but 7, 8 and 1 isn't really something to celebrate.
no, I watched Buffalo Bills go 6 and 10 or 8 and 8 for the better part of 2 decades. So
Yeah, but you weren't happy. You weren't like, "Yay, Bills, 8 and 8."
no, fucking probably the reason that I'm bald and have high blood pressure. Those sons of bitches.
Well, between that and your army of children, but
Yeah.
but it's just, I don't. When your team does bad, you should be mad about it.
Oh, I mean, I get upset, but that's the thing is we can also be real about what it is, what's going on.
Yeah,
And so, if your team does bad, call them out on it. But at the same point, you never stop being a fan. So
no, never. I don't care if we go 0 and 17. At least we'll make history some way.
So I enjoyed this show. It has gone on a little longer than we're used to.
Yeah,
I kind of fear for the future of during the season shows because we're going to have a lot to talk about. We can make an hour and a half off of Lamar Jackson, Twitter, and rating stuff.
Yeah, but that's because it's all we have to talk about right now. When the actual games start up, we'll find a way to condense it all. We're good like that.
I'm going to do something. Not me. Anyway, I'm going to do something real quick. It may not matter. So we're going to run through this. If you haven't liked the video, like the video.
Please.
If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't told 15 friends, pyramid scheme the shit out of the show.
Yes.
Like just tell everybody and have them tell 5 friends. 5 friends. I don't care. But we need to get this thing going. But spread
like the plague.
Yeah, like COVID. Tell your friends. Anyway. So if you're watching this archived, like, comment. We love getting the comments. Participate. Thank you to our sponsor, Pacific Island Sauces.
Follow us on all of our socials, which are listed right here.
Yep, right there. Or email us.
Email us. Yeah, the email is right where Patrick is.
And buy the soy sauce, buy the meat sticks, buy the Mary Kay, drink them all. It's a partner. But I also put another site up there. It's gkcca.com. So if you are watching this before 11 o'clock a.m. on June the 17th, you can buy tickets to win this golf cart.
Look at that golf cart. It's so blue.
It is an amazing golf cart. But tickets stop selling at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. So you go to gkcca.com, as in Greater Kansas City Claims Association.com, gkcca.com. You can purchase the tickets, $25 for an individual ticket or $100 for 5 tickets. Buy them now.
You only have 13 hours left.
You guys need to get after it. Just go. Buy.
Who doesn't want that golf cart?
I
don't now because my current living situation, it doesn't do me any good. But if I had my own house, I'd want that golf cart.
I mean, if you golf, it's good. If you run around a neighborhood in a golf cart, it's good. It is a $12,000 club car with the plush seats. It has lights, turn signals, horns, hazards,
street legal
seats. Yeah, it's street legal. This thing is ready to go.
Not highway ready. I don't think it's going to hit 70.
No, but
But putting around town, that'd be amazing.
But you see, it has the extra seats on back, and so go on, buy your tickets if you haven't bought them now. You will be responsible for picking it up. It's in Kansas City, but you can buy the tickets anywhere. And if you want, you just give it to me. I'm cool with that too.
Could you imagine winning a $12,000 golf cart for just $25?
That would be amazing. And that's who's going to win it. It's going to be the one ticket person that wins it. So I'm not going to say anything else after this, and I'm going to let Matt do what Matt does because no one signs off a show better than Matt. I can't wait till we're watching football together. It is probably my birthday is on Monday, and I'm looking forward to you being here. That'd be the best birthday present. So I'm looking forward to that. This show is going to grow so much whenever we're together. I mean, I think it's a decent show, and we are states and time zones away.
Yeah.
So I look forward to that. So thank you, whoever's watching, whoever has watched. Like, subscribe, tell your friends.
And if you're not watching live, watch it archived. Leave comments there.
Yeah.
I work a third shift at the gym. I sit behind a desk for 8 hours. I have time. I'll read them.
Oh, yeah, he will. And then he'll tell me. And then
if you don't
comment back. And he is a lot nicer than I am.
Yeah, I'll respond. But if you can't do any of that for whatever reason, for some reason something tells you just can't like us, I'll be sad, but I'll get it. We're not everybody's cup of tea yet. But if there's one thing you can do for us out of everything else we've listed, tell your moms about us.